Welcome to In the Know. This video is going to be our final recap of the Pelicans Summer League. We're going to talk about any interesting players, or just mainly, I think, two players. Karlo Matković and Landers Nolley, I believe, deserve some discussion, and so tune in to this video. All right, Mason, we can start with Karlo Matković since he was the starter for the Pelicans. He played 4 games. Not sure why he didn't play one of the games, but he averaged 7 points a game on 35% from the field, and he averaged 4.4 rebounds a game. And the one thing I will say is he blocked 2.3 shots a game, but almost 3 turnovers and fouled like crazy. Any any takeaways?
I no, I mean, well, I guess yes, but like knowing that beyond the fouling, it was like I don't know, like I didn't even notice he was out there for a lot of the times. Like it's I feel like there was a little bit of optimism after the first summer league he had. I feel like we saw him play a little bit out there, and like and there was some hype too about what he's been doing overseas too. And so you came in really hoping that he was going to round out a starting five that all had some aspirations to play in the NBA, and I don't know. I didn't see much that gave me hope for him ever coming over and playing a role in this team. What about you?
Yeah, dude. I don't think he's an NBA player today. Based on my conversations, just with folks around the league, they think that the setting that he played in Europe was not a favorable setting for him to really develop. So he's kind of the same player that he was a year ago, just didn't take any steps forward. There is, he does have a buyout clause in his deal, which the Pelicans don't seem to be concerned with. One, that's something to be concerned with if you're actually bringing the guy over. But two, the reason to bring Karlo over would be to secure a lower cap hit with regards to attack. So if you needed, generate some breathing room, which they don't need to at the moment. But if, let's say, they had a roster spot they absolutely had to fill, Karlo currently counts for 0 years of service, and he would begin at the 0 years of service minimum, and they could get creative with his deal. And that would be the only reason, though. I think, the Pelicans technically only have they have two ways open technically, although like I had heard at the night of the draft that Landers Nolley was pretty much going to get one of those, and I'm not sure if that has changed or if I have a misunderstanding of what that deal is supposed to be. But Sebron's the only guy under contract. EJ got converted. Karlo, maybe he can get that. Maybe he's going to be in Birmingham and just spend a year developing there. Maybe the Pelicans convert his deal. Or just sign him to a real deal because they need to. Or maybe they just send him off to a different setting like they did with Didi, and Didi had to go to Australia. And he ended up developing. But I don't think there's an NBA player in there, Mason.
Yeah. Not like you said, not right now. And we just finished talking about EJ and how at present the Pelicans they're not exactly littered with big man depth, and so I would say this was a chance for him to show something. And if he was really really good, the Pelicans at least have to think about that, right? They have to think about, do we want to create a roster spot for him because we think he can be NBA ready soon? And I don't think we saw anything that would suggest that. And so, Pelicans are going to have to, at least wait a year to have a new assessment on him, I guess.
I do think they should be looking into getting him into a different developmental setting just to see, what kind of progress he can take. He's not exactly young. I think he's 23 now, 22, something like that. So it's not like he's a teenager, but still plenty of times bigs do take a while to develop. And hey, look, if he gets into a different setting, maybe he turns into an amazing screen setter who doesn't offensively foul the person every time he's trying to set one, or maybe he ends up becoming a reliable 3-point shooter. Whatever the case may be, there's a lot of improvements in this game that need to happen before there's a conversation that can be had regarding any minutes at all on the NBA court. Switching over to Landers Nolley, who again, presumptive two-way spot candidate / favorite / however you want to put it. I thought that was a deal that was already agreed upon, but I don't think there's anything official that's been announced in the way of yet. Obviously, they don't have to at any. They don't have to do that right now. They can kind of keep those spots open as they need to and just sign it whenever. I do think he'll get that invite to the Pelicans camp, training camp. He shot 50% from three, which is great to see. 4 attempts a game. Was generally one of the most efficient Pelicans players in summer league, 56% from the field essentially, and didn't really do anything else, I would say, in terms of contributing. But just did his best Anthony Morrow impression or Trey Murphy light impression or whatever you want to call it. He has the skill. He has an elite skill. He can shoot.
Yeah. I look, one guy who came in, we were hoping to see shoot the ball well. He did shoot the ball well. And so I think, and he got the shots up. I mean, you look at the 4 attempts per game, but if you look on a per minute basis, I mean, he was pretty much right there with Hawkins, getting as far as like shots per 30, I don't know what the summer league equivalent shots per 36 is per minute, but yeah, so like I think the ability to just shoot when open or even when not that open. I mean, that's what I commented on our first video about him after the draft, about how his willingness to shoot on the move and, playing for Cincinnati, watching him play against Tulane a couple times, but saw more of that for the Pelicans. And so I would have loved to see him play a little bit more, honestly, than he did. Your points are very well taken. He didn't do much outside of shoot, but that's fine. I want to see him have the courage to knock stuff down, and he did that. And let's see if he does get a 2-way spot, and I'll likely spend some time in Birmingham and see what he can do to further develop his game.
Yeah, like you said, 8.2 attempts per 36, right behind Jordan's 9.2 or 8.4, whatever it is. Just like he got him up. That's the lesson of the story. And look, he has good size, 6'7". He didn't seem outmatched out there physically. I didn't think he looked terrible defensively. So big shooters are always worth taking a flyer on. Again, as this team gets more expensive, they're going to need to cycle in these type of players who are 6'7", 6'6", who can absorb minutes and be efficient at the role that they are given. We talked about this with Sebron, what it would take for him to see minutes. The same thing with Landers Nolley. Maybe there's a pathway for him. Again, look, Najee's contract is up at the end of this year. I don't know what kind of pay rump that he's due for. I don't know what his market is going to be. But there remains a possibility, like there does with any player that's not solidly within the core, that he just isn't brought back or he's traded or whatever. And to be able to cycle in players at that size who can give you production when called upon is going to be important. And I think Landers Nolley has a pathway to potentially be one of those type of players. All right. Well, that can be the video. I think let's say for the rest of the summer league roster, I don't think anyone stood out much. Just the summer league, man. That's all I gotta say about it.
I don't know. Brockington had a couple moments, but yeah. Besides that,
they really liked Brockington last year, and he tore his ACL, and so I think they felt really bad about that, and so they gave him a camp deal and stuff to make sure he was taken care of and he could rehab. And so he's another guy like EJ coming off of an ACL deal. So I think it's a little tough to evaluate him. And ACLs, I think, while they are easy nowadays to come back from relatively, like compared to what they used to be, they still take about 2 years, I think, for guys to fully feel like themselves or, fully feel like they are back to where they are. And so, Brockington, maybe that's another guy to just keep around Birmingham.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I agree. Nothing else stood out to me. But hey, good job, Pelicans. Went 3-2. You won more games than you lost.
Good job, Pelicans. That's a success. Anyways, thanks for tuning into this video.